So Jimmy's under the table today. I don't know what he's doing down there. He's a funny little sausage. So hello. Today I'd like to take a look at some more photos that I found in the attic. These are ones of when I was helping my dad decorate the house in Northwood before we sold it. There used to be an old gas fire in here, and he took it out because he thought it looked unsightly. We were trying to sell the property. My dad was effectively moving to Australia permanently, as it were, and so ultimately I was just helping out. I put a frame in there and did that. Anyway, that's that. Enough of that one. So that's me with a great friend of mine, Sergio, who was Spanish. We used to surf together on the Costa Verde, in San Sebastian or Donostia, if you speak Basque, and that's me above Donostia, or San Sebastian. In that, it's beautiful. It's beautiful down there. That's me with Scheherazade, who is Sergio's sister. That's Sergio with his girlfriend. And that's Scheherazade with me. I was with another girl who's taking the photo at the time, but that was Sergio's younger sister. She was absolutely stunning. She used to make my eyeballs pop out on springs. So this is me with a chap called Louis. He was a really nice chap, an Italian fellow, and he was another surfer basically. Who just always used to hang out, I think that's me in Fulham. There was a sort of a leak coming from the motorway overpass. They've got in Fulham they've got like overpasses, with flyover type things. And there was a leak coming from it, and of course I took to the comedy moment. That's me with the umbrella. There's me in a group of friends. There's Howie at the back. I see Howie, who was a great friend of mine, and this girl was lovely. I really fancied her, but she was, I think she was going out with this bloke, so I didn't have any chance for that. Anyway, dangerous ground. But yeah, that's Elena. She was really lovely. We used to get on really well. Elena was Howie's partner. They weren't married, but they were just partners, but they were great fun. And that's me at their home, which was in Beckenham, if I remember correctly, near Kent. I always crack this joke, but people know I've got connections in Kent, because whenever I walk past them, they go, Kent, it's Kent. Oh well, no, I've watched that one probably too many times. But there I am with my good friends Howie and Elena, and obviously my girls taking a picture. But we've got on very well, and I loved every second of being with them. Not in touch with them anymore, unfortunately. But well, whatever. Never mind. There's another one of me and Howie. Howie used to love what's it called, South Park, and we used to just roar laughing at it. He had a complete collection of South Park videos, which was just hilarious, because obviously we'd have a few drinks and then just stick one of the videos on, and that would be that. So there's me, much younger. I'm probably only, I'll be 18 there, because this was my friend Paul. That's me there, sorry, the ugly one. That's my friend Paul, who was having his 18th birthday party at the time. This guy was called Andy. I'm Andy. So Paul was a bit of the odd man out, wasn't he? I don't know what he's drinking there. Probably some cheap lager, knowing Paul. He lives in New Zealand now. It's a nice bloke. I again, sadly, lost touch. That's my mum at home. I don't know, quite knows why she's kneeling at the altar. I don't know, but she was. And that's my dad, who's dead now, unfortunately, bless him. But that's me with my dad. Those curtains, they're awesome, aren't they? I mean, look at that. I mean, crikey, you could literally puke up on them and it wouldn't show. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a bluebird, and that's the golden arrow. So I can hang on a minute. The bluebird was called the CN7. It was piloted by a fellow called Donald Campbell, who got the commander of the British Empire. And I've got them. Hang on, just bear with me. I know it's crazy. These videos are always nuts, aren't they? Nuts! It's nuts! But no, I've got models of them because I like them so much. And of course, they're in the Bewley Motor Museum down in Hampshire. So that's the CN7, right? That did 401.3, or was it 403.1 miles per hour? It was a speed record car, land speed record car. And I think it did it on Bonneville, but then it crashed. Donald sadly crashed it, nearly killed himself. Yeah, empathy for that one. And basically then took it to Australia. He did, Lake Eyre. So the trouble was the lake was also another story. I should do another video on that. This was Sir Henry Seagrave's Golden Arrow from 1929, and it's written on the bottom there. I ain't lying. But this did about 230 miles per hour, which is pretty good for 1929, I would say. So there they are. Fine. And there's the photo. There's the photos. And this is them down in the Bewley Abbey Motor Museum. Or the National Motor Museum, I think it's called, in Bewley. But that was, I believe, Donald's father, Sir Malcolm. He had a Bluebird as well. I think they named the cars after the Maeterlinck, the Belgian playwright Maeterlinck wrote a play or something called The Bluebird. And the quote goes, hang on a second, sorry, because I'm getting noise feedback from the other room. Someone's playing the radio, isn't it? Oh, a video killed the radio star. No, you're jerking, isn't it? The other way around for me. So Malcolm named his cars and boats, because they did water speed records too, after the Maeterlinck play, and I think it was the Bluebird of happiness is always within reach, yet if pursued to catch and possess is beyond our grasp. And well, there you go. so positive, man. Let's all get stoned. That's my old house in the Eastern Village where I last lived in Hampshire. And that was the house St Christopher's, it was called. It was beautiful. Good God, good golly, Miss Molly, I can't believe how much it's worth now. I wish I'd never sold it in actual fact. But that was my outlook, you know, right opposite the pub as well. Awesome. So that's me. No, I'm taking the photo. That's my dad and my mum with Caroline, who was a great girlfriend of mine. She wasn't actually, we weren't going out together, but in the sense of, you know, hey, hoo, ha ha. We were just mates. She was a girl, I was a bloke, you know, and we went out together. And that's my old Saab. I really liked Caroline. She was half Spanish, really nice lass. This is my dad's old barrack. Can you believe? At Bushfield Camp, when he was in the King's Royal Rifle Corps in Winchester. That's me with my mum. I don't look like that anymore, I can tell you. But thank God, got away with that one. But yeah, this is all the Bushfield Camp bits and bobs. It was a ruin by then. No doubt nowadays it's because these photos were taken in the very late 90s, so no doubt it's been demolished and turned into a housing estate. But my dad was in the King's Royal Rifle Corps, as I say, down there in Winchester. He had a great story to tell. When he was met by his sergeant, he came down on the train to Winchester, and he was met by the sergeant who said, right then, let's go for a drink, left, right, you know, and off they went to the local pub, and my dad was bought half a pint of Guinness. And he'd never had a drink in his life because he was only a young kid, you know. And when he joined, it was national service, and ultimately he tipped it into the Cactus. The sergeant obviously was a bit of a boozer, and he went off and had another one, you know. And whilst he was in the toilet, my old dad tipped his Guinness into the Cactus, or whatever plant was lurking. That's again the camp. Oh, this is funny. This is me. I used to surf, and on this day I was in San Sebastian. On the Costa Verde in Spain, and I was way far too long out there. I'd only just arrived. You can see by my paley wily look, you know, I'd only just arrived, and ultimately I got sunstroke, and I was going out with this girl at the time. She was beautiful. Her name was Charo. She was a Basque girl, in actual fact, because that's one of the oldest languages in Europe, in actual fact, the Basque language. It's amazing. And Charo is spelt T-X-A-R-O. And she was stunning when she was looking after me like a good nurse. She was beautiful. I wish I was still with her, in actual fact. But I had to go back. That's me. That's the mummy, innit? Ooh. There you go, mate. Yeah, that's me and Si, a friend of mine. Si, he's a great friend. We're still very much mates. And he was helping doing up the Northwood house. You can see the ladders are out there. We were trying to sell it, you see, for my mum and dad. And that's him probably rolling a bifter. A bit naughty, I know, but that's probably me rolling a bifter, and very naughty. And we sort of progressively used to get more and more dopey, as time went on, until you end up looking like that, or that. But yeah, a heavy look. Oh my God, look at the face on that one. But a heavy focus on the old narcotic-kini. So that's sign my mum and dad's back garden. It wasn't a big one because they only had a little plot. So that's me and Si. As I say, we're like sort of brothers more than mates. That was inside a Metropolitan line tube train, going down to London. I think we were heading off to from Northwood, where, as I said, I was from, and yeah, there you go. More Bushfield camp. We're saluting there. It was a sort of homage to my old dad, bless him. I loved my old dad very much, although I didn't always get on with him. Poor bugger. I gave him grief when I was young. When I was a teenager, that's me with my mum. I'm looking very gaunt there because I was very ill for a while. I had gastric, whatever they call it. I don't know, some sort of gastric flu or something. I was shit through the eye of a needle time, Money Penny. That's my old dad, bless him. He was always chuckling. He was a funny old fella. I liked him. I loved him so much, as I say. There he is again. And that's my cousin Barb. She's great. She's a real pisshead, though. You can see she's rouge, you know what I mean? Anyway, no, I'm sorry, Barb. I'm not going to go there, but bless you. This was Barb's brother, Jeff, and Paul. So this is me. That's my cousin Paul. Jeff wasn't there actually. This is a bloke called Roger, who was a friend of Paul's. And they're about to leave for Australia, where they live now. They've emigrated. And that is Mary. Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? That's me, Paul, and his wife, Mary. She's lovely, actually. She's Irish. I love Irish people. They've got such a great sense of humour. And there we all are again, having fun. I think we were a little bit tipsy at the time, but all good, baby. It's all good. I don't know what she's looking at. Probably an earwig or something in my ear. Or there's a wasp in your ear. But that's me in my mum and dad's back garden just before we sold the place. You can just about make out my old Westphalia camper van in the back there. The yellow van that I had. Anyway, these are getting a bit nuts. I won't go there. So now we're in Australia. Now we've fully moved. The hoose is gone, sort of thing. That's me, the ugly face. That's the Le Tour Eiffel. So 469 days before the new year. That was when we went to Paris, and awesome. And we went on the Eurotunnel in it, and it was great fun. I really enjoyed Paris. I loved it. I've only ever been there once. It was awesome. Been to France loads of times surfing. That's me, with mates, and stuff like that. That's my Auntie Joyce with my cousin Barb. She's lovely. Well, my Auntie Joyce is long dead, but my cousin Barb is not. Thank God. That's my Uncle Eric, who was the Spitfire pilot. His signature is on there with my mum. That was a party that we went to just before Paul headed off to Australia. So we got the family together. That's Jeff. That's Jeff's daughter, Vicky. That's my mum. That's me, my cousin Barb, and that's my dad. So we had a good time, really good time. This young lass is an actress. That's mum. I forget that lady now. It's Barb's friend and her daughter. I can't remember their names now, but she's an actress. She's working. She's doing good. Bless her. That's Le Gare du Nord in Paris. Sorry, the North Station. That's me with a bloke called Guido. We got on very well. He's Italian. Very funny bloke. He used to go out with a girl called Caroline. And there we are. Well, there I am again in I think that's Le Pont Neuf. Forgive me if I'm wrong. That's the God, this video is rolling on. That's the Tour Eiffel, the Eiffel Tower. Wonderful. Ooh, Paris. Wow. You know, Paris. You know, awesome. Mate, awesome. So just quickly. This is a pantomime. That was a girl I used to go out with called Annie. This was me in the lead role in Mother Goose, playing the Duke of Dastardly or something, Dastardly Squire or something like that. These blokes were hilariously funny to be with. Brilliant fun. That's me with a surfboard. I used to go surfing all the time. I used to love it. Again, Mother Goose. That's another thing with the Mother Goose. These girls were gorgeous. That's a bloke, by the way, dressed in drag. So I wouldn't approach him. Not without drugs, anyway. Not without pills, you know. But I'm joking. Or with a condom. But no, I'm joking. But ultimately, these guys were so funny, really funny. And that was me being silly with an egg, with a golden egg. I'm Nick Tick. I'm Dick Dastardly. This poor creature used to faint regularly, so just dropped down. I think, what's going on? The goose is down again. Hey, director, the goose is down again. Because it was so hot in there, you know, with the stage lights and all the rest of it. That's a lovely old door in Poland. No one's watching now, I know, because why would they? It's ridiculously long, this video. It's nuts. Button up, no, okay, whatever. These were two lovely lasses that I used to help teach. I taught them surfing when we went to learn Lanzarote. I forget their names now, but I think she was Emma and I think she was Claire. But they were absolutely lovely. They were just 18-year-olds. I was about sort of 30 or something. And they just wanted to surf, and I said, fair enough, I'll teach you. That was a great pub called the Rose and Crown in Rickmansworth. I used to go there all the time when I lived down that way. That was sent to me by an old girlfriend. That was how we felt. Two giraffes dancing, because we were both quite tall. That's Australia, me in Australia. That was sent to me by the same girlfriend. It was like she was Catholic, and so she had a thing about names and name days and all the rest of it. It was all good, baby. It was all good whilst it lasted. That was a wedding invite from my first wife. One of her friends got married at Pinewood Studios. My first wife used to be a producer. She used to work in Pinewood Film Studios. So I had that. It was an I don't want to open it because it brings tears to my eyes, quite honestly. I miss my first wife like I would miss my own head. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching. If you've got this far, I fully appreciate it, because at 17 minutes, you're jerking, man, innit? But no, bless you all. I really appreciate you following my channel. Thank you so much. Cheers for now.